Welcome to KC Happy Hour, guys, on our new day here on Tuesdays. As you guys can tell, I am out of the normal studio. It is right around that time for Christmas and Thanksgiving when we start bouncing around a lot more. There was a lot that went down over the last few weeks, karting news-wise. The last couple days has been pretty crazy. We've got most of our original crew on in here, so we want to go ahead and bring everybody on in. First of all, let's bring in Ryan Norberg, our four-time champion, who is here as That's not Ryan Norberg. Let's bring in Ryan Norberg, our four-time, five-time national champion, is actually here. Of course, we got Brandon Jarsacrack here as well. Connor is here as well. And guys, let's go through what the news was over the last few days. If you've been living under a rock, if you didn't know anything that happened over the last few days, it got a little bit crazy coming for the SKUSA SuperNats. Vegas has not been kind to go-kart racing over the last month and a half. Obviously, we had our combo broadcast with the Rock Cup guys. They had to move lots because the lot that they were going to and was all set through Caesars Entertainment was not registered in a way that it looked to the city of Las Vegas other than a forest. So they had to move to a brand new parking lot. Then, of course, for us, we were covering that. Then we started to look towards SKUSA SuperNats like everybody else is the next big race on the national calendar. And well, SKUSA, a few bombs, of course, they had to first take care of. First and foremost that they had come up, and that was the final announcement for that they were not going to be going to the Rio Hotel. So a lot of information came out over the previous weeks, and of course everyone was able to kind of stay in tune with it about as good as they could. Beginning with the event originally was moved due to the World Series of Poker. That put it off the normal weekend. We would normally be already in Vegas this week getting ready for the SKUSA SuperNats if we were on a standard calendar. These guys, of course, had to move that back already. That was already set in stone. Then we look as the week went on, and all of a sudden there started being rumors back at the Rock Cup Vegas event telling everybody that the SKUSA SuperNats might not happen, or at least might not happen at the Rio, or might not happen in Vegas, or might not wherever. And those then they had to put out a post, which we covered last week, saying, you know what, it is going to happen. Then finally, news coming out today that they were going to be going to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is about 18 to 20 miles off the strip. It's about 20 to 25 minutes from where everybody was looking to stay. It is a big-time shakeup. Of course, Las Vegas Motor Speedway hosts EDC. Ryan, you went to EDC over the weekend in Orlando. It hosts big events. Not the same EDC. Everyone, go check out Ryan's Instagram post on EDC as well. Make sure to roast him because poor guys
comment. He needs to hit leg day a couple more times.
So bad.
But in all seriousness, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, it does host a lot of obviously major events beyond the NASCAR race. It's going to be in a parking lot outside of the Speedway. There's not a lot of action go-kart wise that track has seen until you go back to 2008, which I saw this one doing a little bit of Facebook stalking. Big shout out to Dylan Edition from CKN Live and a fellow go-karter as well. And of course to David Cole, who is the karting encyclopedia when it comes to karting over the last couple of decades. The Stars of Karting series went back here. This was one of the premier national championships back in the late 2000s and early 2000s as well. This is one of their final few years, was 2008. They went to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway and actually set up a track that was in the infield that went around the Cup Series garages. So this was the track layout that they ran. This is obviously not what the guys for Superkarts USA are going to be running for the SKUSA SuperNats. In fact, we're not even sure exactly what parking lots those guys are going to be in. That's been probably the most fun part out of the entire day, is trying to see, or at least guesstimate, where in the world the track's going to end up, because we have absolutely no idea where they're going to end up going. There were some guys that were thinking, and this is an older, outdated picture. The lots behind the Las Vegas Motor Speedway backstretch are paved, so that's an option. That's had autocross on it. The lots above in that big triangle of space at the very top of the screen, that's used by the rental kart track, the Las Vegas Superkarts. It's also used by the exotic driving experience that's on there. So there's a lot that's outdated from that picture, but we're not sure what lots they're going to end up in. Do know they have a new host hotel named. In fact, you can see here, even on the update that they've posted, how quickly the room started selling out. The fact that the reservation system got flooded by the big surge of traffic. Obviously, international people, they're not even going to think about anything of how far away the hotel is from the racetrack. They're just going to go ahead and book at this brand new hotel. And so at Resort World Casino, it's a brand new hotel. As it said, I think it was only 25 days old instead of 25 years or 25 weeks old there in the caption. So massive, massive change on the hotel. But nobody really knows where it's going to be parking lot wise. We know we're going to the Vegas Motor Speedway. Big change. What's up, Ryan? Hands up.
They did post where it was going to be.
They did?
Yeah, I'm texting it to you right now.
What?
They have
Ryan gets all the first-hand stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
We were gonna do testing, and we didn't get to do testing, so we had to. No, it's. I mean, if you can zoom in.
No, that's not official.
That's David.
It's not official. Who is that?
That's what David Cole just thinks it's gonna be.
Oh, bro! All right.
Yeah,
Man, you got fooled.
I thought the same thing until I read it, and he was like, "This is David Cole's estimate," and I'm like, "Oh, makes sense." 'Cause I thought it was.
Thanks, David. Sabotaging the show.
Yeah.
Terrible. Man. That just threw me off.
Sorry.
We're gonna go to commercial right off the bat, Ryan. Absolutely ruined. No, but you know what? Let me just transition. All right. I think we've got something better that everybody would much rather watch. And so we're gonna go ahead and pull it up on here. This is one of Connor's favorite all-time Vegas moments right here.
What are we watching it like 1 frame a minute? Yeah, P1. James Horton.
Chambers to the inside of the cross. They'll be side by side.
Oh, Connor. Oh, it looked like you won.
Yeah, whoa. Xander just loves messing with me.
I would never. But no. Yeah, so we ended up somewhere different. I mean, I don't even know where everyone's at. Obviously, everyone that got booked through the SKUSA block gets, got their stuff moved back. I think we're going to end up getting probably an Airbnb. So I think the only downside, guys, that everybody might be a little bit bummed about is not everyone's going to be in the same hotel. It's similar to what we had at Rock Vegas a few weeks ago, where it almost feels like a cruise ship at Rio. But busy stuff over the weekend. Beyond that, we want to give a lot of shout out to, first of all, the 4-cycle shootout down at Phoenix, Arizona went on, and I have the entries going across the bottom of the screen because I wanted to give those guys a lot of love over the weekend. Race Liberante, one of the guys who is a semi-permanent guest host that comes on the show, he was out there racing. They had 37 and 206 Senior, and the way they do the event actually is really cool for a big major club event. It's obviously the marquee event of the year for the Phoenix Kart Racing Association Club Series. They run 6 heats over 2 days, and then it's motocross style, but over 6 heat race points. So completely different format. Obviously, that means each race matters a little bit less. There's no big race it all adds up to, but it ends up with a lot of racing. I think they calculated to like over 90 minutes of track time between just a 2-day show. So super cool, and a big shout out to the Phoenix guys. But guys, everyone, thoughts on the Vegas deal and from the rumors we heard. You know what, Brandon, you've been involved. You're heavily entrenched in everything that you've been doing, especially getting on the team side. What have your thoughts been on everything going on the last week and a half?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like right now a logistical nightmare in my opinion, but there's nothing really we can do about it. We just got to kind of wait and see. Well, now we know where all we're going, but I know as soon as we figured out where the host hotel was and how far away the track was, we immediately booked rental cars and everything like that. And it definitely it's going to cost the teams a little bit more money to race in Vegas now. But, I mean, we all have to deal with the same thing. So it'll be what it is.
Ryan, looks like the 20-minute the ride is going to be a little longer with you with the RPG van. You're going to get stuffed in for 20 minutes every day to the track?
Not really. I mean, it should be around the same, honestly. We're not even staying close to the strip, so we're at the same hotel we were at the last one. So it doesn't really matter. The only thing that I am, more upset about is for a while there, the goal was to get Vegas racing closer to the strip and to be like even more involved with like the Vegas energy and vibe. And it seems like the past couple of years have just been a big setback to that. So it's like, it was exciting, seeing the progression, and Rock, I think, tried to do that and get it closer to the strip, but I don't think it really had the same energy that the Rio has. And I don't know. I feel like it's just sad because it seems like it's a big setback for Vegas racing that we're just getting pushed further and further away from like the strip and where all the action is.
Right. Well, because I mean, this, for a lot of people that already knew or at least figured it out, what happens with the Rio has ripple effects because it's involved in the Caesars Entertainment family. It's involved in that same group of hotels owned by, that same ownership group with Caesars Entertainment. So that means Planet Hollywood's involved. As soon as they end up with a spat with the Rio and then they can't go there, they're not going to go to a host of other hotels that are on the Vegas Strip. Brandon, I mean, you've been racing in Vegas for a good bit too. Over the last few years, right? The same goal. I think the eventual goal was to try and get us racing down the strip, and this year's a downbeat on it, but hopefully it doesn't have any other ripple effects that goes back further.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool. I think when we moved to the Westgate, they were really trying to get us right on the strip for just to get more publicity for go-kart racing, which is always everyone's end goal, just to get more exposure for the sport and everything like that, which it kind of stinks now that we're moving out to the Speedway because it's definitely farther away. And I think it'll kind of honestly be no one will really know what's going on. But like 2 weeks ago when we were in Vegas for the Rock race, you could look like around the pits and you could tell like who people that were involved in racing and people who weren't involved in racing. And you actually walk down like the paddock and there was a handful of people that you saw walking around that like you've never seen at a racetrack before, or they look brand new. So I think where they had us on the strip for the Rock race, it was kind of good because more people came into the pits that never seen go-karting before.
I think what was one of the coolest parts about the Rock race, and Paulie, you'll be able to kind of add to it because I know you were spending more of that race as a spectator and driver coach than anybody else here, is the main grandstand for the spectators was open and free to watch. So, anyone walking down had a good area to watch from, which was one of the, benefits of being right by a relatively busy road. It's a side road right off of the strip, but I mean, you still had guys walking down and walking for it. I do want to make sure that we don't get too negative on the SKUSA guys, though. As Ryan says, it's not, and it's not a knock on those guys. I mean, everyone in the industry, I must say, normally Facebook, Twitter, Instagram can get really, really negative. Again, just go check Ryan's EDC post. There's a lot of haters out there.
Calm down, dude.
Hate night.
But in all seriousness, the industry's actually been really positive on the
So stupid.
There's been a lot of positivity on the post and the announcement from Vegas Motor Speedway being announced. I mean, as unfortunate as it is getting pushed off of the strip, it is really cool that we're going to be at least still racing, because I mean, again, the industry relies on the two Vegas races that we have in the sport. I mean, it initially obviously started with SuperNats. Now Rock has continued to grow, and it's a great alternative. It's a great second race, and for a lot of teams, it's a great double race because I mean, there's so much income that comes in. Even for club guys that may look down or get a little bit negative about Vegas, I think it's really important that everyone in the sport understands that even if you can't afford to go to that race and the big money players that come in and the money that comes in from international influence, whether it's South America or Europe that comes over, or even just the European factory and sponsored guys that comes over and end up racing, but end up giving a lot of chassis to teams in return for teams running them. It makes it possible for you to be able to run your 206 or your KA or whatever motor you've got at your club, and for a shop guy to be there. Because I think if this Vegas race didn't happen, if SKUSA didn't, have contingency plans instantly start getting in the works when the Rio started to go south, you'd see a lot of guys struggle. I mean, there were a lot of teams that were in really rough shape after the New Orleans race got canceled at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. So that's really, really cool that these guys were able to do that. And Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate that we're off the strip, but as a whole, it seems like the industry's rebounded pretty positively to the reaction. And back to what we were talking about with Rock, Paulie. I mean, you got to see it too, probably more than anybody else, bouncing around in that paddock area. I mean, there were a lot of strangers that were kind of watching the racing, even on top of parking garages where you spent a lot of your time.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a bunch of people that didn't look like they knew anything about racing. They were just checking it out and seeing what it was all about. We actually had a few people come up to us on the parking deck and ask us about it. And they asked us if, like, you know, it was just like something they could go do today as well. And then you kind of had to explain to them what it was about. And then they're like, wow. So it was pretty cool. You saw some people that aren't involved at all just up there watching and being pretty impressed by like all the racing and how skilled like some of those drivers were out there and what they were doing.
Well, in any case, it's still super cool no matter what. Again, guys, that we are racing. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we want to talk about some of our favorite Vegas moments because everybody in this group, besides myself, has competed there. I've had some other different moments being involved and working in that race. But for everyone here, they've been up at the front. We even got a SuperNats winner among us. If you don't know that already, you'll find out when we come back after the break. Again, stick with us. KC Happy Hour rolls on our new night here on Tuesday nights here at 8 Eastern. KC Happy Hour is presented by Precision Performance Karting. PPK is the exclusive South Florida dealer for Coyote Motorsports kart racing chassis and Coyote's newest distributor. However, owner John Seglem and Coyote Motorsports' relationship spans across numerous decades in the sport, meaning that you've got years of winning expertise at your service. PPK offers trackside support at all of the CKNA South Division events, the CKNA majors, such as the Spring Nationals and the Grand Nationals, the Sunshine State Karting Challenge, and a number of club races in the Southeast. PPK also has an impressive driver roster at these events, racking up multiple wins and podiums in 2021 with longtime Coyote Motorsports driver Chris Carroll and KC Happy Hour's own Paulie Massimino and Brandon Jarsakrak. If you're looking to get on the same race-winning equipment as these drivers, from the Coyote Motorsports chassis to the Odenthal motor mounts and Greyhound racing seats, Precision Performance Karting has you covered. Check out Precision Performance Karting on Facebook and Instagram or email them at ppkartingfl@gmail.com.
There's a new engine program on the block that's already begun winning races. Speed Lab Racing Engines has already racked up wins in X30 classes at the U.S. Pro Kart Series and Rock GP classes at the most recent Rock Vegas event. Headed up by names you can trust, such as longtime engine builder Mario Lafredo and industry veteran Mike Speed, Speed Lab Racing Engines has quickly become the engine of choice for a number of top teams in the sport, most recently servicing the entire Rullison Performance Group and Speed Concepts Racing operations at Rock Vegas, and also servicing the likes of JC Karting and Mike Doty Racing. It won't be long before this engine program gets a wait list, with his resume already filling up with wins, so make sure to reach out and get your tune-up by emailing them at speedlabracingengines@gmail.com.
Well, we end up out of that commercial here, guys, and back to it. And like I said, we wanted to talk about our favorite Vegas memories and everyone's interesting stories. We go back first. Obviously, Connor, you've had some good moments in Vegas and some not so good moments. First of all, I don't want to rag on you. You have had some good ones. In fact, a big win in that one in Mini.
Yeah, you know, it's been up and down. I mean, mostly up. I don't think I've finished, other than my K 2 years ago. But we're not going to talk about that. Other than that, I haven't finished outside the top 5 in Vegas. So Vegas has been pretty good to me. I only have one win, but it's more than anyone else here, so can't complain.
Actually not, because Paulie also like
Other
you
than-
won
other than
on
Paul-
the-
other than
on
Paul.
the
Oh,
penalty.
that's who it was.
That's right.
I don't
That's right.
think anybody here had one.
No, I wasn't gonna
Me
count
and Paul.
Connor's mini win. Connor's mini win, it's like kind of like a half count, you know, because like
All right.
Paulie won off.
Paulie's
the
kind
quick-
only-
of
the only-
is too.
Yeah, Polly's
Paulie's
is a half
is
count
too.
too.
All right, so
Let's
let's
combine
elaborate.
the half
one
count.
winner.
Polly's is a half count.
Let's elaborate. Connor got his win because everybody ran cheated up motors in Mini Swift and they chunked half the top 5, and Connor didn't have a cheater motor, so Connor got the win. In Paulie's case, Paulie finished second. He was bridesmaid. It
None
was
of
like
us are
on-
real winners.
Yeah, and then the winner got a pushback penalty. So both of you guys got shorted podiums. Paulie, they even interviewed. They saw the pushback, and then they left him on the podium. So you didn't even get to stand on top in front of everybody.
It's all good. I got the trophy. That's all that matters. And the watch. So it's all good.
You still have the watch? Or do you sell it?
No, I still got it.
I'm surprised you haven't sold it. You're all about that bling bling, or you're all about that money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's no doubt.
Surprised you didn't sell it to finance the new car.
Yeah.
No, actually, speaking of that, Brandon, I'm still waiting on that PayPal, man.
This guy.
Oh yeah, let's explain that. Brandon, can you explain why you haven't paid why you're not able to pay Connor?
No, no,
Nah,
I can't
I
accept my
paid him.
money.
He just
I
can't
can't accept
it.
the money because I'm not
He's
18
he's
yet.
got to wait 4 more years till he can get it.
Wait, two and a half.
Brandon Jar's Crack Racing, the most legit team in the pad.
You don't get paid for 2
BJR.
years.
Can we,
Small delay.
Ryan, you've won Supernats, right? In the 23 years of trying, or no?
23 years. I've only you raced more Supernats than I have, dude.
No, I've only raced what, like 5 of them?
Same here. Same here. I started in 2016. The first Supernats I ever raced.
You're 0 for 5.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's difficult to win.
No, you've
None
actually
of us
raced
have won
4.
X30. I've raced X30 every time. None of us have won X30. So
You've actually
Yeah.
raced 4
Fair
because
point.
we haven't raced in 2020 or
yeah,
21.
exactly. It's only been 4. And
Yeah.
I came in. I had like a
16, 17,
few top
18,
fives.
I think.
I've been up there. I have a
Up,
poll.
yeah.
Does anybody else here have a poll?
All right,
Brandon
moving
has a
on.
poll,
Brandon,
actually.
Brandon, how about you, Brandon?
I've been doing it for, I think I did it 5 years now. The first 2 years, I didn't even make the race. And then then the next year we came in, we started on pole, so it was a big swing, big change. But
Big
yeah,
swinging.
Vegas is a lot about
Where'd you
luck.
finish that race? Where'd you finish that
Yeah,
race?
we didn't finish very good, but
No, you
we
made the
started
other
on,
one.
on the
You
front
made it.
row.
You made it the year before. The year you were on the Tony kart with Kart Sport and Doty. You qualified for that one though too before you put it on pole.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't make
yeah,
it 1 year, I think.
You have a pole
But-
winners.
I'll get pulled.
The year I
next year,
didn't,
not to worry.
the 1 year I didn't make it was the year it was raining like crazy, and everything was going back and forth, wet and dry. And I think we made the wrong call on tires in one of the heat races, and that kind of really set us behind. And then I started in the LCQ top 5 and got wrecked in the first corner, surprise. And I think I was 1 spot short from coming back to it. But yeah,
You guys-
it's hard. It's hard in Vegas. You can be really fast and still not make the race.
You remember the one? I think it was 2019 when there was fast group, slow group, and X30 Junior qualifying, and it like was dry, and then it rained for one or something like, or it was like drying track, so they mixed the groups, so it was like slow person, fast person, slow person.
But
fast
what it did was it created, because it did the A, B, C, D heats.
Yeah.
There was like one heat where
Yeah,
it
there
was
was
just like the slow
there was
group.
2
and
fast
there was-
groups and 2 slow groups.
So
It
if
was
you're in the
so
fast
bad.
group and you qualified like whatever 1st or 5th or whatever, you were like competing against like hard drivers every single session.
Yeah.
And then there was one where it was just like a group full of like slower kids. It was funny.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm not gonna lie, 1 year I didn't make Supernats either, so it's all good.
I've been full on my success rates of making Supernats.
I was on that
Same here.
fast top cart.
Top cart.
And,
Top cart.
Yeah.
Have you run a lot of classes with LCQs at Supernats, Connor?
Mini, junior, almost every year. I've only ran 17, 18, 19. I've only done 3
Right.
Supernats.
Only a fair
18,
few.
I started like 5th. Or I was running 2nd, and I started 2nd in 2018. And I don't think I passed a single person the whole race. I was just like starstruck that I was even in the top 5. So I was just sitting there pushing Gabriel Mini around the whole track. And then 2019, I don't really want to talk about that one, honestly. Should have won that,
Yeah.
but you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, you and Ryan was driven very cleanly in 2019. You remember that?
Yeah, that's
Ryan?
what happens when you block the whole race.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
To be fair, when you're leading the
Jake
Supernats,
Craig.
things kind of change. So, the whole game plan gets thrown out the window. But yeah, that was my best week. So qualifying, going from like the last starting position to making the race on like in 2018 to qualifying pole, great turnaround for me. So that was the best SKUSA memory. And that qualifying was also really fun. So I think whatever we can do to bring that
It's
back.
fun
we
if you're
should do.
first. Other than
It's
that,
fun regardless. It was like cool to do hot pits and like go out for qualifying and talk to your team, and they're like, "Oh, you're like in the top 3, go out again." You're like, "Okay," and then you just go out again. Like it's
And then like when you go out in front of like the whole field when they're on their lap or what?
Yeah,
that was unfortunate. I was on a flyer and got cut off by a lot of people, but it was okay.
I didn't cut you off.
I didn't.
Why are you looking a certain way, Brandon?
No,
You're looking at one specific guy.
I didn't think I cut
No, you didn't cut me off. No, I was cut off by the rest of the field pretty much.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like that qualifying because you did have 20 minutes to go do whatever you want, but after you did the first like 5 laps on the tires, there was no point in going back out after you hot pit. I'd rather see them take the 20 minutes and do like a 2-lap qualifying for each person, and each person goes out individually, do 2 laps, and whoever has the quickest time.
How is it going to be this year?
I think that I don't think they've had time to the poor guys to put a format together this year. To be honest, I think the first step is because they still. I mean, that's the other thing too. They got to put the race on. We have no track layout yet. We don't have a pit layout yet. We don't even know what parking lot it's going to be at yet. They just recently got the host hotel locked in, and at the moment, the original plan was to still do registration, pit passes, stuff like that at that hotel. But now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of people that probably will not stay there. And again, I just want to make this announcement now that we've got more viewers on there. Don't flood the SKUSA guys. I mean, everyone's at least behind them in the sport in terms of championing and wanting the sport to continue to have this race. These guys got overwhelmed, and so in a good way. The new hotel here with the Hilton family from Rooms, because they posted it late last night for the East Coasters, and ended up overwhelming the block. I think by the time we got up, by the time I checked anyway, we were down to just king rooms only. So they're going to be adding a lot more, so that block's going to get bigger. But they're still working on the race, so it'd be cool if they have time to put the format together. But we're 2.5 weeks out, so I don't know. I think the hot pit format's cool where guys come in. I think nothing beats like the way that we did the Miami Grands heats, where you had guys coming in and you talk with your team and then you go out and race again. I think there was no better spectacle than that, but the qualifying stuff would be good. Or if you had guys qualify in, a Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q3, when you get down to your Super Bowl guys, that's your 2-lap runs, or even if it's just, Q1 and original Super Bowl, but something to add that spectacle where you line the fences up would be cool for sure.
I think I'm gonna be a little rusty at this year's SuperNats. I haven't been in a go-kart in a month.
Yeah, that didn't go too good last time.
And that's why he'll put it on poll too. That's everybody says that, like, oh, I'm rusty, and then they go out and always shellac you at the next race.
I think we should just do one practice and then just let them eat.
I like it. I'm ready to go.
Straight to
I
quality.
like that. I'll get what's called. I'll get the KRP kids to make me a track so I can practice.
I feel like SuperNats is the one place you can go though that you haven't driven for a little while and you can kind of get away with it because everyone's kind of rusty on a track that they've never seen before. But that's just my opinion. Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think, Ryan? I mean, we talk about too. I think the last thing we can talk about too that'd be fun is like how different the setups end up being for these low grip racetracks. Having driven in the Rock Vegas race, did that track ever rubber up enough to be anywhere close to the driving style or setup style you guys end at, let's say, at USPKS GoPro?
Not USPKS GoPro, but like your normal race.
It's for normal races. It's fine. I mean, the problem with the Rock was it never gripped up enough and the track stayed together. Whenever it would grip up, it would just rip the track off the ground. So, I mean, that's not their problem. They don't want to be in that parking lot anyways. But no, the setups are like, and that's what a lot of people that I talk to that haven't gone to Vegas are like, oh, well, what do I do to the go-kart? I'm like, you just what you normally do. Like, you don't really do a lot different. There's like some times where you get some really obscure setup. When I was with Burrell, there was times where we'd run something like really crazy and it would be fast, but like for the most part, it's like you just run the same thing you normally do. You just probably won't go to like a super hard axle, because it's a little free. But even on Sunday, the track's normally pretty gripped up anyways.
Right. Well, we'll talk a little less setup and a little more fun with formats. Connor, whatever Connor's looking at right now anyway.
Connor got caught. That's what Connor did.
What did I do?
Nothing.
We're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we want you guys to submit, and for everyone tuning in, some of your favorite formats, either over the years or stuff that you've seen. I think the qualifying formats will be fun to talk about, but especially if you guys what did you guys like to see put these drivers in a box and make the most entertaining race out of it? Because SuperNats is one of those races that a lot of club guys like to come out and watch. It's obviously a race that gets streamed on Sundays, and hopefully with stuff we're working on, we'll have a little more streaming presence there in the years to come, which we've got one more streaming announcement, another series that we're going to be dropping here at the end of the show tonight. I mentioned there was a big announcement. I'm not going to forget. So when we come back from commercial break, guys, send in your favorite and what you would love to see out of SuperNats or any major karting event. We'll talk about it. Any other questions you got for these guys? Because when we start next week, it's time to bring a lot of West Coasters on. It's the West Coast Swing of the Year, so we need to make sure we give them a whole lot of love. Stick with us, guys. KC Happy Hour rolls on.
Hi, I'm Billy Vincent, owner of Mpg Motorsports. What we do at Mpg is we try to keep it a nice, fun family atmosphere, try to combine sort of the bigger things and of the bigger teams and the professionalism down with sort of some of the fun sort of family-oriented atmosphere. We try to not only develop drivers, but also the parents and the families for just in knowledge in general in motorsports. It all starts in karting. What we try to do is try to help the drivers, the moms, the dads understand the sport of motorsports in general, not just karting, but what it takes to get all the way up through. Whether you end up wanting to be a driver or a mechanic or an engineer, we can help you with that, and that's what we're here for. If you're interested in joining us at MPG, our home base is at Whiteland Raceway Park in Indianapolis, and you can contact us at info@willpowerkart.com. And one of our great people will reach out to you, and we'll try to put the best program together.
As the Western importer of the Praga and Formula K chassis brands, Leading Edge Motorsports is a high-performance kart shop and race team with a simple mission: teach others the joy of high-performance driving, supply our customers with the highest quality products and services, and win races. With our remarkable racing inventory, expert services, and top-ranked professional race team to back it up, we'll help get your new kart racing package up and running fast. From arrive and drive service to kart preparation and driver coaching, to the parts you need to get back on the racetrack, Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer.
Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex Rock engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jecco Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. All right, welcome back, guys. We've got a lot to unpack. We've already started sending in some great suggestions we're going to go through in just a moment. First of all, though, we've got a great question. We love seeing this on the show. And always ask which one is the better driver. But listen, I'm not going to have
Xander.
No, we're not.
Xander's the GOAT.
We're not going on this stuff again. We have one guy here that is actually going to be the best one to answer, and that is Tony Tesoro on the show again. Tony, we love Tony. Tony is back.
The best driver.
Tony, where are you?
Sure. I'm in a car. I literally left the restaurant, and I saw your message, and I figured, well, you know what? I better fucking answer because I don't, I feel I have to chime in sometimes with all you fuck nuts.
So who's the best?
Either way,
Best driver.
best driver as a whole of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Come on, Tony. I drove for you, man.
Man, you know what though? You know what, Ryan? Actually, if you remember correctly, how cool was it that you got your fucking Rotex ticket on a fucking AM chassis?
That's pretty sick.
It is
Pretty
sick.
cool.
That was pretty cool. You're not so fucking shabby, dick face. Don't worry. Even though you smile with that smirky smile, but it's good. It's good.
All right,
There's a lot of you
break.
good ones. A lot of you guys are good. Don't sweat that. It's only how good you are at the moment. That's all that matters.
You're so nice, Tony.
Break
I know.
it down then, Tony. Break down Paulie over here. Stoneface. Stoneface is waiting on you to
Paul.
answer him.
Paulie's pretty good at GoPro. He likes to lead the field in a proper way. It's good.
What about Con Man?
Look, everyone has a hole, dude. It's all about your moment and where you're at and how good everything is and how good the feel is. I mean, y'all know how it is. I don't have to fucking tell anybody.
All right, let's ask you a different question, Tony. How bummed are you that we're racing 20 minutes away from the Las Vegas Strip for the big race of the year?
I actually think it's going to be better. To be honest, I don't even know why the fuck everyone is like worried about it. Like to be honest, it's something new. It's away from everything. To be honest, you're going to have everybody else on their toes. Like it's going to be as a whole just better. Like I don't. I would expect this will be the best SuperNats you guys have seen in a long time. It's different.
Really?
Why always just keep it the same? Like it's okay it's okay that nobody has a clue and no one's raced there in years. Like it's just better. I actually think this will be way better than ever before.
It's gonna be like any Florida Winter Tour race though. Like all those parking lot tracks.
I think Tony's just
really,
saying
though?
that because
No,
so there's a higher
No,
chance that he
SKUSA
makes
does
it
a
to
good
the
job
track.
of design.
I'm not getting paid by anybody to say that. I actually really think that it's going to be better. Like, why wouldn't it be better? You feel like you have to race in the same place all the time? That's like you. Let's race GoPro every year. That's just you'll be fast.
I don't like GoPro. I don't know why you guys say that.
All right, well, whatever. It's close to your house.
No, I'm just saying you probably like it better because there's more of a chance that you'll make it to the track the next morning. You might be too late to go to the strip,
Well, you know what? Actually, you're incorrect by saying that because I always make it to the track no matter what.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know about that.
All right, once. Fuck off.
I'm sorry, Tony. It's been a toxic roast-worthy night, man. I mean, we started. Ryan set everything off with his Instagram post today. I mean, really.
No, you know what, Ryan? Good job, bro. I actually thought I should have been there. That's fucking good fucking job. Good job. Don't worry. I'm glad you made it out of there.
I was fine. Fine.
Good job.
He's glad you're safe.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not in Florida, or else nobody would have made it home.
Let's get into it though. There were some really good submissions I wanted to go through. First of all, here this one coming from actually we'll get to a couple questions here, but this one's coming from viewer Chris Stifler. So he had a quality order. So quality orders set by fastest practice lap. Tony, you got to let me get through.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Go ahead. I just thought of a movie, Stifler's.
Moving on here. Quality order should be set by the fastest lap for a 25-minute practice session. 3 carts on track at once for quali, 2 laps each. Top 10 get 3 laps again to decide the polls. So it basically, that practice would basically be an open quali session. So you could have like a hot pit during 25. And that would set the order that they go out, and then they'd go out in groups of 3 spread out amongst the racetrack so they wouldn't tow off each other, and then do basically a third Q3, 10 laps, or top 10 get 3 laps to decide it again. So a bit interesting the way he kind of split this out. I mean, this sounds a lot more like what you'd see out of like maybe some car racing stuff, but an interesting form. Tony, you already don't like this one.
Well, I just don't understand why. Why reinvent the wheel? Does your bicycle go fast in a straight line on certain wheels?
We're just having some fun here, Tony. We're trying to go.
Okay, all right. Well, so was I. I had fun riding my bike.
Just trying to do something different, Tony.
Trying to do something different.
It's okay.
You can't do the
it's
same.
okay to have a little bit of a hot pit action. To be honest, that would actually be really cool if they would if they would allow people to hot pit again. A little bit of practice, go hot pit, understand what you got, maybe do half and half, and then go from there. What's wrong with a 20-minute? Look, it's a better route because then you get to kind of learn from your mistakes and then go from there. I mean, I don't know why you would change it, but
yeah, I think in general. I don't know. I think change it to me. I mean, I'm always a big proponent, and I think NASCAR has been trying to do the same thing, good or bad. But I mean, a lot of racing series do the same thing of trying to like make the drivers and teams like uncomfortable or make them work a little bit harder. So when you throw like different wrenches into it, I think that always ends up sometimes working out better racing, sometimes not. Here's like another one that we had come in. This is from Dylan Denhase. He said, haven't seen it before, but 3-lap qualifying, 2 heats, pre-final, final. See, the heats would make for good racing if that was on more of like a standard format, but the difference with the SuperNats, of course, is we have to have the bracket racing. So unless you split them up and then kind of divided them together, but I mean, shorter qualifying, I think, ends up working out better. And on a quick note, I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I know everybody hates how like we end up on cold tires for 2 or 3 lap quali, but it seems like a lot of the normal BS of guys like waiting up and brake checking happens like a whole lot less with just like a very short, like to the point, go out and run, which you may not get in a SuperNats group of 40 if you have to do an open session, but at least at the end, if you did 2 laps, you could just send them out in order and probably put 20 on track. Ryan, what do you think? I mean, do you agree, disagree? 2-3 lap quali at some
Yeah,
of these bigger races?
I like the 2-3 lap quali. I don't think it's bad. I think it's fun doing it like USBKS, but like, I don't know. Tony was just talking about change, and then he's like, I don't want to change this, so like I don't understand. I mean, I'm down to change qualifying. I like when they throw like the wrench into it because it's fun to like have to think of a strategy. Like when I just put it in our private chat, but like when Xander was mentioning like Q1, 2, and 3. Like that would be really cool if you had Q1, 2, 3, and we're all on the same. Like you have to qualify on one tire the whole time, so it's like you don't want to do a lot of laps, and like that would be fun. Every round you have a different like strategy, and it's like the best driver on the older tires would probably qualify the best. You know, it'd be interesting.
Connor,
Yeah,
why
gotta
are you
have
so
a-
upset about that?
You gotta have a new set of tire if you're gonna do Q1, 2, and 3. You gotta have a new set of tire each time.
Why
Q,
not? I mean,
it's the same drivers. Everybody's on
What's
the
the
same.
point of qualifying? Is qualifying trying to manage your tires, or is it qualifying trying to go out there and go
The
as fast as you
strategy.
possibly
Fast
can?
as you possibly can.
Exactly,
Fast as
Tony.
fast as
Tony
you-
knows.
It's not
But
saying
Ryan-
you gotta, but you're gonna go as fast as you can in Q number 3. And I mean, at the end, if you're only putting a couple laps on it, you're gonna naturally manage. When he says manage, it doesn't mean like you're not gonna go 110% in Q3. You're gonna want to put it on pole or at least a good spot. You know, you're not gonna not go out for Q3 just because of one small heat cycle at 2 laps. But it means you'll probably only get like, or at least strategize, you'd think 1 run, maybe 2, but a short run on the tires. And I think it would make the racing interesting because if Guy has an issue in Q1, he'd have like, I don't know, maybe
you
10
got a
laps
chance to
fresher tires.
get it back or something. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's just a different.
Yeah, but the
different way of doing it.
3-lap qualifier alleviates of what everything you just said, right? So it's super cool to go do 3 laps, but it also becomes very track dependent. Meaning in the fact that if you're somewhere and it's 40 degrees colder or 4 degrees hotter, and you only got 3 laps, that's literally nobody goes and practices after an 8-minute session and goes, oh look, we're going to pump the tires up this way, we're going to do this way, and we're going to go 3 laps and just see what happens. If you literally never get a clean lap because some jackass dropped the tire off or whatever the case may be, that whole quick qualifying thing like that's not money. Like there's not, it's a crapshoot every time. It's like throwing a set of dice and just going, oh, hopefully I get, I nail it right now.
It's Vegas.
I mean, that's part of it. But so you're anti 3 laps, even if they're gapped out, Tony?
Anti-3. I've been anti-3 laps forever.
Really?
Yeah,
Even if there's
absolutely.
space, you got like 2-3 seconds in front of you. Not a fan. I don't understand that.
I'm a big fan of the European style of the way they do it, not because of it's the European, but I like the fact that you go into a quality session. It's 20 minutes straight. Okay, you get to start it however you want. It could be on new tire, used tire, whatever. You go out there, you run it, you come back in, you hot pit, because back in the day we used to hot pit quite a bit even here. You hot pit, you make a change, you go back out there, and you get your next 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it is that you decided to maximize your time on track. No different than Q1, Q2, Q3. You literally have a time frame, and you can do whatever you want to maximize what you have to get a fast lap. What's wrong with that?
Your fastest lap's always going to be the first stint, no matter what. That's the part of MGL. Is you have the fast part, and then it plateaus 2/10, and you're not going to get back up to that fast part unless you like completely botch the setup the first stint. So it's really just a matter of just let the people go out and give them a 10. I mean, you can't go wrong with a 10-minute session, 2 groups, clean track, and see what you can do. I mean, you can put all this exciting stuff in it, but in the end, it's still who can go the fastest on the first 2 laps of the tire.
Well, that's very true, actually.
I don't know. Here's another one. This is from Aaron Hackmeister, who's a viewer and obviously KC team member when he can be. Talking about hot pit qualifying and a super pole for the top 10. I mean, I still like the bracket system no matter how you want. If you want to run a big 20-minute hot pit session, that's fine. But I think what was cool with Vegas, and I mean, Brandon and Ryan, you guys were a part of that session, you know, where you guys had the whole fence lined up to watch only 20 guys. I mean, you can imagine what the fence would look like for the top 10 at the end of the day, especially like if it was X30 in the morning and then you had your KZ guys running at night. I mean, to see like the factory guys go one by one and a crew of like 10 of them getting ready to go, I think would be pretty cool.
I'm fine with like, because what's it called? Do like top 6 super pole like they used to do in the Rotax days. Which would be
You just
cool.
don't want any changes is what you want, Connor. You just want the same cookie cutter vanilla ice cream like year after year. You
But he's
know,
only
that's
got, like,
what
four
we're
I want
getting
what's
at.
good. I
wouldn't
don't want to do all this extra stuff if it's not good. That's what I mean. You can do it all, but in the end, I want to do what's best for racing.
This was
why
a-
be out there for 20 minutes when your tires fall off after
Well,
lap 4.
well, Paulie, wake up, because that's the whole point of it. You don't go out there for 20 minutes straight.
Okay, but why waste the
The
time?
whole tank isn't gonna last that long.
Why waste the time of 20 minutes when the
Oh,
tires
Jesus,
fall off
my God,
after
wait.
3 laps?
I like
like
the Q1. I'll do a Q1 and a Q2 as long as they supply tires for Q2, so we can.
You
go out
don't
there
need
and
no. That's
What is the
that don't.
difference? It's 20 minutes. You can do whatever you want in 20 minutes.
No, I'm saying they do Q1 with every single person on the grid, and then they take
Oh
like, the
my
top
God.
10 and give everyone in the top 10 a new set of tires, and then you go out and
Okay.
do like
Connor, who's like
laps
made
or
you
whatever.
cry by winning a race over you that had like 5 lap fresher tires? I want to know because
Are you
obviously this is coming from like a
It's not
point
the
of like
racing part of
sensitivity.
it. It's just
No,
You
I'm
should-
serious. I mean, like
you should
I
go out. Qualifying, you should go out. You should have new tires. What qualifying have you ever seen where you don't have new tires?
what does it matter? Why not? What we're talking
Why
about
can't we
new
do something
format,
different than
Connor.
everyone
yeah,
else?
Something
All right,
different,
fine.
Connor.
Let's do something different.
All
Whatever.
right,
We literally
Connor,
ran
whatever
a
makes
race
you guys
this year
happy.
where the track
I love how
configuration
you guys
was
all
different.
say that, being that you all drive the same go-kart. None of you guys do anything different. So how about that? Wow, good job. Man, you guys nailed it. Do something different. Why don't you wear a white sock and a black sock
Oh god.
the day you race? But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I had to say that. Love you. Mean it.
No.
Tony, I'm
That
not
was-
driving
What
in Kart
I
Republic.
was saying was the most
Who
fun
cares?
race we
I
had
don't
this
care.
year that we all agreed on was the race where we literally ran a different track configuration halfway through the weekend.
That was
Yeah.
And then
cool.
we switched back. And that was
Yeah.
the most fun race. So maybe we should switch things up is what I'm trying to say.
I
So
like
basically,
that.
you're saying we
That's
should switch the track at SuperNats. Go
That
forward
is-
for
that is
half
what
of
I
the
halfway.
weekend,
Halfway we
and
should
then
run a
I
different
think
Yeah.
layout.
Flop it.
every morning they just come up with a different layout.
We gotta do like
Just
a
move
high
Put the
school
barriers in a
like-
different.
like a senior prank kind of thing. Go out there at the middle of the night and just move all the barriers and make a complete like the 5 of us. Just go out there and make a completely
'em
different
drive
track
across
in the
the
middle of the night.
Go across the
Put a bridge
highway,
with
come back
barriers.
around in the desert, go through the canyon, come back around and do like turn 1 all
Aha
over again.
4000. Yeah.
Perfect. I love it.
Tony, you might be able to help me with this one here,
I
or
don't
anyone
know,
else
but
here that
yeah.
might help a little bit, maybe. This is a question from Matthew Miles. So he's talking about how a month ago we were talking about the engine's lack of horsepower when it comes to the X30 races, and we were looking to maybe go a little bit faster at the big level now that we don't need that motor to really be a good motor for the club stuff. And he was talking about this 175 engine not being good enough. At least that was Chris Wareheim he put into the Super X30 is not worth a damn. But then the
It's
X30
totally
the X30 Codasaur, I was looking this up here on the IAME website. I'll send this in our private chat and in the main chat as well. From what it looks like just kind of a dumbed down, like the X30 version of the Vortex DVS. Have you heard about this engine, Tony? It says it's for the
No.
South American market, but it looks like an IAME, like what IAME did for the Vortex DVS, where they just took their OK motor and tweaked it a little bit.
Detuned it. So it's like a 125 direct drive. It's basically an X30 with no clutch, direct drive. But the difference is what makes it all faster is that they don't run it like tanks that we do. It doesn't run at 365 pounds. It runs at like junior weight, if not less, with just a little bit more horsepower. If you took 20 pounds off the X30, it would make it a whole different game.
That's true.
Gotcha.
And it also revs to like 17,000. Like it's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, but you
those
can
things.
change the coil on. You can change the coil
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
X30
yeah.
right now and go to 17,000.
Yeah. That's
Right.
true.
So it's not like. But to be honest, you know, you don't need to run the X30 at 365 pounds. Jesus Christ, you shouldn't even run the KA at 360. I mean, that's crazy. Like, you know, it's like running.
You got to
the mini cart
eat in America, Tony.
300.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
this is the home of
Some
McDonald's.
of us are trying to
Tony.
make careers in X30.
Why don't you just eat better?
Dude, come on.
The guy's
like-
like,
I'm 43 years old and I weigh 175 pounds, so I don't
You
know.
would not make
And
weight
that's-
in senior.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
make weight.
Yeah, you wouldn't make weight.
I'm not trying to race senior. What the fuck do I care? I don't want to race against you guys.
then why are you arguing about your weight right now to
Why
these
is
guys?
that?
They're trying to
No,
make
because
weight.
I'm telling you, like, it's not just like don't regulate the weight because there's fat people in America. No, just eat better. The fuck is the difference? I don't understand.
Oh man,
It's a simple answer.
And I don't know.
Taking
All
away
right,
weight would
this
be
one,
pretty
this
good.
one's not going to be a good Connor input because Connor wants new tires every session he goes on the racetrack. But
Yeah, of course it
this
does.
was a good one from
I'm an
Zach Porter.
F1
He said,
driver. I race
open
for
up the
Mercedes.
open up tire allocation. Evidently, Connor just sucks at tire dag. So we move on. 2 sets of tires for the
Alright.
weekend. Your choice to use 1 set in quali and park in it and save the new set for the final. Use 2 sets in quali. Use scrubs for the final. I don't know if you'd see a lot of guys.
Holy
though. The only-
shit.
I mean, can't
but you get
do
2
that?
sets.
We're getting way out of pocket now.
No,
Can't
no,
you
no,
do
no,
that,
no,
though?
you-
Your tire bill just went up $1,000.
No, it's not. No, this is the same.
No, it's
amount
still
of tires
using
we
2
run.
sets. It's still
I
using
mean, we
2
technically
sets.
already do that, but we don't use 2 in quali.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
we
that's
wouldn't
pretty
have
much
the
what we have
option.
already.
You're right.
Sort of.
What
I
about
think
for the
he's
heat?
trying to say if we did like a hot pit, then you could have 2 sets of tires and
Exactly.
then go in the final on scrubs instead of new tires.
And manage them out throughout the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
You could play with your scrubs whenever you wanted to. You'd sacrifice new rubber to start the main event, but if you only put a couple laps on them, wouldn't be bad. Or heck, I mean, you could just run. Well, I guess you couldn't run scrubs for quali. Yeah, it's similar to what we got. You would just get to run that second set. I
kind
It'd be
of
cool.
like
I'd
it
like
because
the rock,
then
man.
because then you get to do the hot pit, and if you screw up on the first set, you have another chance.
Yeah, but in theory,
But-
can't you
but
do
then
that
you
in Rock
sacrifice.
right now?
no, because there's
Oh,
no
and
hot.
I'm not saying in quali, but if they give you 8 tires, and you can do whatever you want over the course of the entire weekend, isn't it the same thing? Except you can't use them in quali; you can only use 1 set. But if you're only going to qualify 5 laps, and you go and bounce between your tires between quali, heat, and final,
So-
it's the same thing.
To be honest, you guys have lost me completely. I have not
All right.
been paying attention for the last 5 minutes, so I don't know what you guys are even talking
I'm
about.
kind of in the same boat.
All
Mark.
You
right.
guys were like
You
2
know what?
tires, but 1 set for 3 sessions.
All right,
I'm like,
we're-
I have no clue.
All right,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. We're parking Ryan and we're parking Connor for 30 seconds here. We're gonna. I'd park Paulie, but Paulie hasn't said a word, so we're fine with Paulie.
No, I'm
No,
listening. I'm in
smiles.
this.
All he does is smile.
Oh, you're listening. Paulie's following. All right. We'll
Oh,
bring Ryan back. We'll bring Connor back. All right, out of the penalty box. All right, so let's go. I'm trying to. So what this would mean that you'd have to have a hot pit session in qualifying. We already have 2 sets is what we normally run for the weekend, but it's standard because you don't have a hot pit in the normal quali. You run 1 set of tires in quali.
Oh,
That's the
fuck.
set of tires you run through the heats. And then you go to the LCQ. If you have to go to the LCQ, most of the guys put on their new tires that they were saving for the final because you can run that new set whenever you want to, but everybody naturally saves that for the final or if they have to the LCQ. In this case, what it would mean is this: he's just saying, give it a 20-minute hot pit session in quali, but if we want to avoid the issue of the hot pit from 2019, allow them to take the second set of tires you're normally allotted, and you can put that on. And just like what Brandon was saying, you can gamble. If you're not too worried about giving up some tire life in the final, how do we lose
Yeah, but
Tony
nobody would
every
do that.
time? Where did
Nobody
he
would do
go?
that.
Where does this
I'm
guy
here.
go?
Just calm
Oh,
down. I'm
he's-
listening. Just shut up. I'm trying to smoke outside of somebody's car. Just come out.
We're putting Tony in the penalty box now.
The thing
Tony-
is nobody would do that because like 20 minutes, we have a 20-minute session and everybody goes out on the last 5 minutes. So if you did the 2 tires, nobody's going to use them. They're just going to save them. So like if they just sucked, they sucked, and they're going to use their tires in the final. I mean, tires is like Connor said, it's like 3 tenths maybe. So it's like if you don't have 3 tenths in the final, I mean, 3 tenths over 25 laps, that's a lot of time. I can't do the math, but that's a lot of time.
Let me think about
Yeah.
that one. That's like 2.5 seconds.
Look at that calculator
I mean,
out.
it's at least 3 tenths.
I mean, you could just do the whole
5 seconds.
the old trick and just white line it everywhere. Get to the lead, white line it.
Holly,
Yeah, you
I'm gonna
can.
send you if you do that.
Well, I'm not gonna do it, but
You ain't sending nobody.
Okay, Tony. Thanks for your input.
Just stop, dude.
Thanks,
Oh,
Tony.
Carter,
man.
I could bring up some moments where you should have sent some people and you didn't. So
Go
Yeah, he
for
sent
it.
himself. I saw it already a couple times this year. All the GoPro. Full send. Full send.
What about Ocala when I was leading X30 Junior and drove off
Oh.
in turn 1?
Oh no, that was my favorite one of all time. Actually, you drove off and you
guys
acted like
remember?
something was wrong, and then we all looked and we're like, "What's wrong?" Nope, nothing's wrong. He just drove off.
I was leading by like 2 seconds at Ocala, and I just went off at the end of the straightaway.
Yeah. Awesome.
That was
It kind of looked like
terrible.
how you were holding the wheel just now. It's good. Just, that was good.
Where am I going?
Same. That's okay. No.
Sorry, Dad.
Problem is, us old veteran motherfuckers, we remember everything. Don't worry.
Right. Well,
Good
the
and
last
the
of the let's see. So we had a few more comments coming in. This is from great fan 1 that said we want to do less qualifying, more heat
That's
racing.
my dad.
Oh, that is? Oh, all right. Perfect.
You got his burner account. You just
You got a
exposed him.
burner? You just outed him. He's probably been talking smack on there to a bunch of people. Your dad's gonna be in big time trouble now.
gonna
He
get
is
fired.
done.
Yep. You know. I had to call
There we
him
go.
out.
Great comment here from Rafael Leon. Halfway through
I
the
like
race,
how
half
none
the
of us
field did
answered
the
that
normal way.
question.
There you go. that'll
All
work.
right, go, Raphael, go.
Here we go. Actually, this is a great one. We're just gonna leave this on the screen for a second for everybody to see.
Can't read it.
That's fucking... You know what?
Ryan, you look a little bothered. You got places to be?
No, I'm not.
Ryan, answer that question for that Raphael.
Which one?
He's
Where is
out
it?
of it.
Where's
He's
it?
out of
Something
it.
about Pawn Stars. Is it
he's
close?
not
I
with
think
us
they're
tonight.
insinuating that you look like the guy from Pawn Stars.
Tell him to fuck himself. How about that? I don't even know who he is, but fuck him.
All right.
You should look it up.
Next question.
All right.
Next
Next
question.
question.
Okay,
Tell
superstar.
Jimbo to ask another one.
No, we had one more I was trying to find back here. I just need to go on back.
On one.
There's one more. I
I'm
promise.
waiting for Tony to go through the drive-through.
No, I'm not. I'm waiting because the connection is good here finally, so it's good.
I was gonna say you have better connection on your cell phone than anything else.
I don't know. I had some great gnocchi tonight in this restaurant. I have no idea what it's called, but it was good. I'm in the middle of buttfuck fucking Ohio. I have no idea where. I just
Hey, did it snow? Did it snow yet for you?
Who cares, dude? It's cold as shit. I had to buy 5 pairs of pants an hour ago.
Oh.
I can't handle this shit, man. It's fucking crazy. What's it like in Florida?
It's
Exactly.
70 degrees. It's perfect, man. You're missing
Yeah, I
out.
can't wait till I get there. As soon as I get there, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Just because it's warm. How about
Feels
that?
nice, man.
I know.
Oh
It's
my
terrible.
God.
All right.
Love
The
you,
last
mean
truth bomb here. This is from Tiffin. Tiffin
Oh,
Lower.
great.
Not
No,
Thompson
no.
said
He's
it.
just being a realist. He wasn't saying anything
All right.
crazy. And the truth, I mean, he's right. We have too many classes to do super long qualifying sessions.
We have
at
too
least
many
for the
classes,
majority.
period.
Yeah,
Yes.
well,
But
he's not
uh,
wrong.
it's how
Hey,
the events are
Masters.
structured. You can't.
Kid Kart Junior, Kid Kart Senior.
You get
Junior
mad, but
Max.
that adds to your purse right there. All those
It
entries.
does.
and-
That's
and
who
all
pays
that
the
stuff.
bills, man.
Yeah,
Well,
you can't get
But
mad
let me
about
ask
the
you
extra
this
classes.
though.
they come
So
out.
is that question, how valid is that question? Because back in the day in WKA, you can have a Yamaha with fucking 19 cans on it. You had a coffee can, you had a Folgers can, you had a can with 17 holes, you had a Masters can with 25 pounds on it, and it was the same guy, and he would race it every single session with the same car. He would put a different muffler on it with 10 more pounds, and it's a new class. Oh, I won. No, motherfucker, you did it. So what's the difference?
A full Folgers.
Oh my god.
Folders can,
Soda
I mean,
can.
whatever. What's the difference? It's the same as it is now. except
I don't
now you
understand
get
what
different
point you're
people.
trying to make here, Tony. I mean, that's
No, there's
He's
no
trying to
point.
say
What's
there's
the
too many
difference now?
classes.
Like, it's
Well,
always
there's
been
no-
that way.
no,
It's always,
well,
you
no,
used
but
to go to Daytona. And there's, I can tell you, there's about 3 of you guys on this screen. You guys, everybody used to go to Daytona, and in 3 days, you would run 7 classes.
True.
with the
All
same
right.
go
I
That's
don't
still
think
it
I've ever
now.
done 7
That's
classes. but
actually
I've
I
done
do-
5 at the max.
yeah.
Well, there you go.
I've done
You're a
I've
little
done 4
older.
at the max.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
same.
I mean, it
What's the
was a
difference?
lot, but that's not what we're talking about here. He's talking about the extra classes for like masters and stuff. You know, I mean, even micro arguably.
Tell the
is-
masters to race senior.
I think we're talking about doing this like
Yeah.
special qualifying thing though at like
Yeah.
Vegas where we do qualifying on a whole separate day from all the racing.
Yeah, we
All
have a
right,
lot of
well.
time.
So
I
we
think,
start
to do it.
practicing
So then we
on
have more
Tuesday
time.
instead of Wednesday, so we just have to show up even earlier.
No,
No,
you
we
don't
just
have to do
qualify.
it.
We just
I'm already
qualify
there on
earlier. We don't do
Saturday.
as much practice.
You're there on
there on
Saturday
What
this
are you
year?
doing, Connor?
You're already there on Monday, no matter what. So what's the
I fly there
point?
Saturday, so I'm.
Dude, why are you there? Are you testing like the week before, like
No,
at the
dude, we
track
have
or
a
something?
huge-
They've
we
got a
have
private
huge
test
pit,
parking lot.
dude.
RPG
Yeah,
rents like
yeah.
extra barriers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And if they
They
students
build the
have
track
access,
real
they have a
quick.
test track.
yeah, you know.
Test the fuel, test
know.
the air, test the wind.
Yeah, the
Uh,
reason SKUSA can't go is because we rented out the Rio, so that's the whole reason.
Yeah.
We got it for
Okay.
testing.
You and the fucking rodeo clowns.
Rodeo clowns.
Oh my god.
Well, Tony, your presence is always appreciated. Thanks for stopping in tonight.
Well, good. I appreciate being here, telling everyone what I think.
I'm glad you enjoyed your Noki, Tony. Have a good night.
Enjoy.
All right. It's tough. Even Paulie breaks a smile when Tony comes on the show. So, I think as a whole, I mean, having a few different qualifying formats or any kind of different formats to mix things up would be cool. I mean, the note here to all you guys watching along that we've been wanting to put on is that, you know, the sport can get a lot better and there's a lot of cool ways to play with it. We had, like Ryan said, a lot of fun at Miami Grand. So final thoughts around the rooms, boys. Connor, obviously you just want new tires no matter what, right?
Yeah, you know, I got the big baller budget. So I'm gonna put
Big
tires on
baller
every
budget.
session.
Oh my god.
Nah, I think any sort of, as long as it's even, I'm cool with it. So if you want to go out there and do 3 sessions, all right, let's go out there and do 3 sessions. If that's how you want to do it. But you know, whatever makes you happy, really.
Paulie, any closing thoughts you've got after all this as a fellow Vegas winner?
I'm kind of hoping this year, you know, Tom and all them throw in some rallycross jumps with some dirt, and then we can really just total our chassis, because I think the track's gonna be a little rough, so I think we should just add in some jumps. But I'm looking forward
need
to it. I think it'll be
Have you
it'll be a
been to
good
the
show.
track?
Yeah, I've been there 10 times. I already practiced yesterday, so I'm ready to go.
That's why he couldn't come yesterday. He was
Yeah, that's why I couldn't really make it. Yeah, I got the setup dialed in, so should be good to go. I borrowed your guys' motors from the trailer. I just found it somewhere. So I
Sounds
scrapped a few.
good. Sounds good. Probably one of the fastest you've ever gone.
You found all 42 cameras in the trailer?
Well, you know, I hired someone to go break in the trailer and grab them for me.
Okay.
So
Was
he
it
was the guy
Brandon?
walking around with like the little cards, you know, on the strip.
Okay,
Ah.
yeah, I know that guy.
So I hired one of those to go in there and get some
Take 'em all.
motors for me.
Brandon, any closing thoughts about format stuff you'd like to see, and overall just the fact at least we're racing?
Yeah, I'd honestly like to see like a 3-lap qualifying with single car qualifying, so you have no one else getting in your way or there's no draft or anything like that. So that's just outright pace of everyone. But on the other hand, I'm just glad we're going to Vegas and we actually have a parking lot to go to now, and I'm excited to get there.
And Ryan, let's close it off with you, buddy.
Yeah, man, I second what Brandon said. I think that's what we need. But shout out to SKUSA for making it happen. Happy that it's still going. I mean, it's a disaster on everybody else's part trying to reschedule like just everything. So I could only imagine how awful it is on their end to reschedule an entire event. I mean, it takes a lot of time to plan all that stuff. So shout out to those guys, the Rock guys who did it before them. Good job. Hopefully, you know, thank you for still allowing us to race and giving us ways to make money. So
Yeah, good deal. I think
I'm just
everyone
glad we
knows
get to go back because all my stuff is still in Vegas and I want to get it back.
Why is your stuff in
Want to get on?
Vegas?
I left it there from the rock race.
What's all your stuff?
All my tools.
I'm
I
kind
want
of
'em
glad
back.
we the race too. I'm glad we're not another off year from Vegas. I missed it
Yeah,
last year.
Vegas is fun. You know, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be the same as it usually is, but you know, it's still Vegas.
It'll be good.
Yeah. Appreciate everybody's hard work and making it happen. So should be good.
Exactly. At least we have an
Yeah.
event.
Right. Well, big thanks again. Like everybody said here, and like everyone in
I
the
feel like
industry has
SKUSA's
been.
paying me to say this stuff.
No one's paying. All
Not-
right.
obviously
To the
not.
penalty
You can be
box.
nice
Get
to
out of
a
here, Connor.
series.
Yeah, we don't have to rag
You
him.
can be
Connor's
nice
in the
to a
penalty
series
box.
every once in a while.
All right. Yeah, we don't always have to rag on him. We do hold a lot of these series pretty rough sometimes. Ryan loves to just beat on the rock guys religiously. No.
Come
okay.
on, that's not true.
All right, Xander. All right, Xander. You do
You
like
can't-
to beat on the series all the time too. So.
All right, but that
Let's hear
series
what you
deserves
think about
it. That
Daytona.
series
Poor
deserves it.
WKA group.
You know what?
gets just
You know what?
Ruthlessly
I-
terrified
hey,
by
hey.
Xander.
Hey, I will say I am happy. Those guys have changed the format. They've cut the number of classes down. Every class races for 3 days this year. So they're back to halfway normal. So you know what? I can't knock them anymore. I mean, I'm still
No,
gonna
don't
knock
be
them,
trying
but,
to suck up now. It's too
I'm
late.
not
Yeah.
suck- no,
Too
I'm
late.
not
Xander.
sucking
He's
up.
trying to get
no,
them into
too
the
late.
cart chaser.
No,
Yeah,
no.
that's what he's trying to-
Xander, you got to make your big announcement. Are they your big announcement?
No, they're not. They're not.
He's sucking
is?
up so you get the live stream for him.
Exactly. That's what he wants to live stream for.
No. I heard a rumor they were live streaming with us from someone else, not even them last year, and I was like, they haven't even called me, and I don't think they will. But
I don't think so either.
no, I don't think so either. But we do have the big announcement. We do have a lot of thanks for them. We give everybody a lot of crap, but honestly, it's because the way we're structured and at the end of the day, everybody just wants the sport to grow. So when we see stuff that we don't think is going to make it grow or is good for the business, it's you know what we don't like and what we want to call out, and that's part of the idea. So again, obviously, huge thanks to these guys and for everyone that has stayed on this long. We do have a post coming very soon. We've already announced the Texas Sprint Racing Series is coming live on Kart Chaser in 2022, along with the Stars Championship Series and the Route 66 Sprint Series. And if you know anything about the ownership of any of those series, you know that one of them has a big brother. For who was that?
Ryan.
Ollie.
Ryan.
It was not me.
It was Ryan.
My
We're
ringer
interrupted.
is off.
I don't even have a phone.
I was
Yeah.
building up great. I thought I was doing that one solid.
Xander, I really like your room decorations.
It's not mine.
It's like a teddy
Can you
bear.
announce what? Can we announce this, please?
Yeah, you said it was a short podcast tonight, and it's been an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh,
I'm
Ryan's
sorry,
got
Ryan.
Oh, here it is.
Ryan,
Couldn't make it the whole show without that.
We made it. I can't believe we made it the
I've
whole
been
show.
trying.
We almost made it here without you complaining about the length of the show, Ryan. We were so close.
Come on.
You know what, guys? The U.S. Pro Kart Series is going live on Kart Chaser in 2022. It is another one we're happy to announce. We've got more announcements still to come. But for 2022, that adds to our schedule. If you're keeping count so far, that puts us at 17 live events so far confirmed for 2022. Actually puts us at 18 when you count the return of the IAM USA Grand National Championship. And there are more to come. So we're going to announce more of those when they come. But the U.S. Pro Kart Series will be announced here in just a moment with a full picture and everything. We're going live again. We got more. And somehow these guys will all manage to be there. We know Brandon's going to be there. So Brandon's going to be at all of them. Connor's lying. Connor's going to find a way there. We're psyched about all that. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week on KC Happy Hour.